10. It's fabulous.
It's a really pretty flannel quilt.
Oh my God.
You can see why these vines are divine. And then the leaves.
Quilt out loud, baby!
Quilt Out Loud is brought to you by That Patchwork Place, publisher of America's best-loved quilt books.
Aurifil Italian threads, perfectly suited for every quilt project.
Northcott, cottons that feel like silk.
And by Reliable Corporation, press like the pros.
Guidelines for quilting. Prepare for perfect piecing.
And Baby Lock for the love of sewing.
Welcome to Quilt Out Loud. I'm Jodi Davis and I'm in Houston for Quilt Market. And joining me today is Patrick Lose, who's going to join me for the whole show here from Houston. Is this exciting?
It's very
what?
exciting.
Yes.
I love Quilt Market.
Well, I've been coming a long time and I can't even figure out how long I've been coming to Quilt Market, but you have too.
This is my 15th year.
Oh,
because I
really?
started at Fall Quilt Market, yeah, so 15th year.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow. Well, I know that I was at the market in Boston, which I checked, and it was in '95, something like that.
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
Yep.
Because I think it was right before the one that I came to, actually.
Yep, and what was fun about that market was it was the year that Cheers, it was the last time
yeah.
that they were having the show, and
Yeah.
so the market was right on Boston Common. I went to college there, so I know
Oh,
all about
okay.
Boston. And there were all these porta potties out there.
Nice.
And I'm like, what's going on here? And I never watched Cheers, so I didn't know about it. It was the final hurrah. They had all these screens up
yeah.
so that they were going to show
Very
the show.
cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
So 15 years is a long time.
That's a great market memory.
Yeah. So, but I understand that market has an anniversary itself.
Yes. 30 years this year?
30 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1979.
So we have something else to celebrate.
That's right, that's right. And it all started because Carrie Bressenhan, someone kept telling her you need to have something for the industry, a place for the industry to meet. And it all started about some yellow fabric.
Yeah, evidently yellow fabric was hard to come by, or I think what they meant was any fabric that had anything special to it. You know, you could get the common everyday stuff, but they wanted yellow fabric. They wanted something particular. And, you know, to be able to go somewhere and find that one particular thing they were looking for was what this was all about.
Right. And so that the shop owners had a place where they could talk to manufacturers,
Right.
where they could really, you know, create
All
an
in one
industry.
place,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
this is what we need as shop owners,
Right.
the voice of the consumer. And I remember back there that there wasn't much fabric to be had that was decent. I was quilting back then.
If you liked calico, I think it was okay.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what
but-
you could find.
But there's also a lot of polyester.
Yeah, exactly. We've moved on.
So we're at Quilt Market, which is the trade show.
Right.
And so right now, people are here like fabric manufacturers and designers and teachers. You have a fabric line.
Yes, fabric line,
Yep.
books, patterns, and I have my own booth here also. So I'm exhibiting as well.
Yep, and later in the show, we're going to be at your booth for our book review, so you'll get to
Right.
see what a booth is like.
Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun.
And then
Forward to it.
after Quilt Market is the consumer show, which is called Quilt Festival, and you can come to that. Anyone can come to that, and in fact, a lot of people do. Somewhere between 50 and 55,000 people usually
Wow,
come.
I didn't realize.
And this is one of the things you
It's
have
very
to do
cool.
in your
It's
lifetime.
I love coming to festival just to walk festival and be there and be around. Exhibiting, I'd rather not do because I want to take it all in.
Yes,
It's
yes.
unbelievable.
Absolutely. Well, next we're going to the That Patchwork Place booth.
Oh, cool.
And we're going to talk to Karen Soltes, who is the acquisitions editor. Now, you and I have both been down this road
Oh, yeah.
as authors.
Oh, yeah.
But a lot of people out there would love to write a book. So we're going to give you the ins and outs of how to get published,
Exactly.
which is really fun.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Can't wait.
it will be. So join us at the That Patchwork Place booth. It starts with nothing, just a clean slate.
Yes, and loud.
And loud, yes.
Can you hear it? Yeah.
But then all of a sudden it gets beautiful.
The setup is still going on. There's an awful lot of things, a lot of noise and commotion going on here in the exhibit hall to bring this all to life.
It is magic. Quilters are buzzing about Aurifil thread. Why? Isn't thread just thread? Not when it's Aurifil. Aurifil is kind to your sewing machine. The mercerization and singeing steps in the Aurifil production process keep your machine clean and running smoothly. Aurifil sews like a dream. Aurifil is made from quality cotton called Mako cotton, which is grown much like wine grapes in a climate that nurtures the quality that makes for great sewing thread. This ensures very little breakage, and with just the right twist, Aurifil eliminates thread tangling and fraying. Aurifil colors your creativity. Working closely with the fashion industry, Aurifil is constantly updating the range of 216 colors. Available in 4 weights, Aurifil offers a thread with each of your quilting needs in mind. Thread isn't just thread when it's Aurifil. Now we've come down to the exhibit floor and we're at the That Patchwork Place booth, and we're going to find out the 5 important things you should know to get your book published.
And we'd like to introduce you to Karen Soltis, who is the acquisitions editor for That Patchwork Place.
Thanks, Jodi and Patrick.
So what's the first thing we need to know? If I have an idea for a book, what do I need to know to get it published?
Well, that's a really good question, and I think the number one thing that authors should think about is really what is the special hook that sets their book apart from everyone else's. We publish 36 quilt books a year, and other publishers are out there publishing lots of them too. So what is it that makes your book unique? We look for a sales hook, whether it's a special technique, a twist on an existing technique, or just a really special look about.
So, like for me, it would be my look, because I'm not necessarily a person that's about technique quilting, but something like this book would be more cutting garden quilts. This is more of a thread painting or a fusible applique technique.
So Melinda's book is really based on a technique. It has a beautiful look to it, but yes, for you have a very recognizable look with your applique and your fabric designs and things.
Right.
Exactly.
So an aspiring author needs to identify that and be able to articulate that in her presentation to you.
Right.
His or her.
Exactly.
So what's your next tip for an aspiring author?
Well, I think that definitely to do your research, see what's out there, see how you could develop your technique. Sometimes people have a great idea for a technique and all their quilts start looking the same with it. How can you push the envelope? Someone like Carla Alexander, for instance, who did Stack with the Deck books.
Yes.
With each consecutive book, she kind of pushed that a little bit further, or went from squares and rectangles to triangles or curved lines or shapes, and made each quilt look pretty and individual and unique on its own. So how can you kind of push that a little bit further?
And the bonus on that, of course, is Carla got known for what she does, and so it helps more to market because you're building on that. Yeah.
Okay, Karen, so what would you say is the next tip that you have for aspiring authors?
Well, I think for quilters, just as you know when you go to your local quilt shop that sample sell, you are inspired to buy a book or look at a pattern because you saw a really fabulous quilt hanging on the wall. Sample sell to us as well. We have a committee of people that's made up of myself and our editorial director, but also our sales and marketing people. And we want to see your work. We want to see how fabulous your quilt is. You don't have to send us 20 projects to say this is what's going to be in my book, but computer-generated illustrations can help fill in the gaps, so can photos, but we want to see what your actual quilt looks like.
So we've done 1, 2, 3, are we on 4?
Number 4 we are.
And we've changed it to 15. We now want 15 ideas.
Well, number 4 is just my tip for people that a lot of people say they would love to do a book, or I might be intimidated by doing a book, what do I need to do? And I just want to let people know they need to be prepared to write that manuscript. It's not as intimidating as it sounds. If you are a designer and you're writing pattern packs to sell at quilt shops, you're doing one at a time. We're just asking you to do 15 or 20 maybe at once, but you do need to write the manuscript. The publisher will help you with photos and illustrations and professional editing, but you need to be able to start off the ball.
Right, your readers want to hear that in your voice anyway.
Exactly.
They bought it for
Like with your book, they want to know your design perspective and why you did this, not what me as the editor was thinking.
Exactly.
And you know, I always look at it as I do a chapter at a time. It's like the elephant, you don't eat it all at once. And isn't it easier after you've done one book than to do subsequent books? It's the unknown of that first one that's scary.
Right.
Yep.
I think that's probably exactly true. Even for us, once an author is returning, we know what it's like to work with them. We know what their work is like. We might not make them jump through as many hoops to get that their foot in the door anymore because we've worked with them.
That's right. You know, everybody knows what to expect.
Exactly.
Yes. What's your last tip?
Well, my last tip is that while the publisher does a lot for you, we also want the authors to be an active participant in selling their books, to travel, to teach, to get out there and promote their book themselves, whether it's on Facebook or a blog or whatever. So to be an equal partner really in the sales and marketing of the book, I think.
Yeah.
We know
be prepared for that.
Yeah, well you do that, you teach and do,
being out, you know, going out and teaching and being with my readers, you know, the people that want to see what I do, that's, that's just feeds me, you know. Then I want to do the next thing, and you know, that's a great part of it. So it's important that they're involved in that.
But a perfect author does other things too, so that they're getting their name out. You do your fabric, to get your name out, because it all helps to promote the book.
Exactly.
So that's a perfect author. You have an author here who I understand would like to come and tell us what she does to promote her books. And this is an author that does very well for you. So this is some good tips for our viewers and what they can do if they have a book.
So now we have with us Cynthia Tomaszewski, who I saw autographing her 5th book.
4th book.
This is the 4th?
4th book. I'm working on my 5th book now.
I'm sorry. So, so this is your 4th book, and the thing that I immediately noticed with it was the color that was on the cover. I'm all about color, and I know you are too. So
I am.
So tell us about this book.
Well, this book has a very tropical feel to it. All of the quilts in this book bring the islands to mind, and there's a lot of embellishment, a lot of applique. It's just a real fun book.
Great.
Very different from the other books I've done, but very fun.
Very cool.
And what are the things that you do to promote yourself and your books?
Well, I have my own company called Simple Pleasures, and I do patterns. I also teach, lecture. I have a blog, which I must give Martingale credit to her encouraging me to do that.
Oh,
I had it registered for 2 years, but I'd never done anything with it, so that was good. I always try to publish in different magazines to get my name out.
That's a good one.
There's a lot of different things that you can do. And come to Quilt Market, of course.
Right. Now, you don't teach as much as other people because you have a geographical problem. Maybe it's not a problem.
Actually. But I do live on the other side of the world. I live in Abu Dhabi, which is in the United Arab Emirates, and we just now have a new quilt festival that's taking place every 2 years in February in the Middle East. So women are starting to quilt in the Middle East, and it's very exciting. Wow. So you'll have to come and visit us in the Middle East.
I would love to because, you know, we're so American focused, and our look is so American. It's wonderful, like, to see the Japanese quilts, and so that's going to be really fun.
We have girls that come from all over the world to the show, so it's going to be quite exciting.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, thank you
Very
both.
cool.
I think our viewers got a lot of really good tips, and they can go to the Martingale website.
Yes, we do have our proposal information online, so they can request it. They can send us an email, call. We'd be happy to mail hard copy if someone doesn't have access to the internet. So contact us. We'd love to hear from people. I don't want to intimidate people and say, you must do this and this and this, but these are kinds of things we're looking for.
There's a reason you're asking for these things.
Exactly.
That's what it comes down to, yeah. And you know what, Karen, you don't look so scary after all this big, mean acquisitions editor.
I try not to be.
We're back with more Quilt Out Loud, and I am back at Quilt Market, and this is setup day. I'm with Kelly Laws from Baby Lock. Kelly, before we get into the new machine, I just want everybody to know that all the noise and everything is because you're still setting up. You're setting up all these sewing machines to demonstrate them. And what do you do here at Market as a sewing machine dealer?
As a sewing machine dealer here for Market, we talk to prospective dealerships, prospective retailers that want to carry the line. We show off our machines to other vendors, other manufacturers, fabric companies, pattern companies, and basically represent the brand.
Yep, and designers like myself, because I use a Baby Lock machine. Well, I'm sort of a little ahead of the game because at the end of the show, of the 6 segments, Patrick and I are going to do the favorite things that we found. But I had already heard about this machine because some of the people from Fons and Porter had been to some event you had, and they came back all gushing over it. And I mean, if you can impress us jaded people who've seen everything, this is revolutionary.
It is. The Baby Lock Sashiko machine is unlike any other machine you'll see on the market. It mimics a hand stitch look.
A hand stitch look. It really does. You know what it is, but this is a machine that can do it.
Right. Sashiko is a traditional Japanese hand stitch, and we have now brought a machine so that you can speed up the process of all your projects and have a lot of fun with it.
Great. Well, show us how it works.
Okay. So what I have here is a traditional pattern block, pre-printed pattern block that you would normally use if you were going to do by hand. So you see the little dots and spacing that you would normally follow. We're still going to follow those, using those as our pattern lines, but we're going to use the machine. So we're just going to stitch along.
Oh my gosh. And it's skipping stitches.
Yes.
Is what it looks like. Is there 2 threads in there?
It is only 1 thread.
Oh, wow.
It is completely controlled, all your stitches completely controlled by 1 thread in the bobbin, not up top.
Wow. So that one thread then is going through like this, like exactly as it would if you were doing it by hand.
Correct. And
Wow.
unlike many other machines that only use one thread, it is not a chain stitch. So it's not gonna, your stitches are still locked in and they're not going to pull out. And you do see that we have a stitch and a space and a stitch and a space.
Right.
You can alternate the stitch and the space, your stitch lengths. So you can have a shorter stitch length or a longer stitch length, a shorter stitch space or a longer stitch space to get any kind of look you desired like you would do with hand.
So the length of the stitch plus
The length of the space.
in between, you can manipulate them independently of one
Independently,
another.
yes.
Oh, that is cool. And what kind of thread do you use with this?
Thread, you want to use anything that is a 30 weight or lighter thread. And we recommend the Madeira Katona thread for this, and that's what we're using in here.
So Kelly, there's only one thread. Can you show me how to thread the sewing machine?
Sure, be glad to. So first we need to remove our fabric, and we'll get that off there. So then you're going to press this button until the green lights up, and that's your bobbin loading position. And then you're going to open the door, and then you can remove your bobbin case. You can change your thread color, wind a new bobbin. You'll see the bobbin case is upside down compared to most normal rotary hook bobbin cases and has 2 posts. Place the bobbin case in so it snaps into place. Lightly hold the thread. Bring the hand wheel around towards you until the needle picks up the thread.
Okay.
Then grab a hold of that thread and turn the hand wheel again. And this is your take-up lever. Instead of being at the top of the machine, it's in the bottom. So you want to have your thread gently in the take-up lever, close the door, and place the thread in the keeper, pull it forward, and it'll cut it off, and you're ready to sew.
Great. So that take-up lever inside is the thing that would be there.
Right.
So it's the thing that's pulling the thread back and forth.
Correct.
Okay. And then this little arm here pushes it through the needle, through the eye of the needle when you're sewing.
The little arm grabs the thread as it sews. It, in combination with the needle, like I said, has a handicapped, like a handicapped needle where it has an eye with a slit. And there's a latch wire, and the wire moves up and down within the needle to grab the thread and put it through the eye and then take it out of the eye.
It's amazing. Well, show me some other projects that you can do with this.
Okay. In addition to being able to use a hand pre-printed pattern like we were sewing here, you can also just take your own fabric and quilting stencils, any kind of stencil you'd like, and of course your water erase, air erase marking pens, and trace, you know, your own design here, and then you can follow it. You can also draw your own designs. You can follow the edge of a pattern, a fabric, stripes within a fabric, a floral print on a jacquard.
Anything you would do quilting,
anything you would want to do with quilting. This pattern here, this project, we were inspired by the Japanese print here in the center and traced off the little fans, the little fabric banners, and then just repeated that same motif in the border, sometimes adding stripes, sometimes leaving them empty, sometimes adding a little swirl pattern.
Well, we'd love to offer this project to our members and put it on the QNN TV Quilt Out Loud site. Could we do that?
Absolutely.
Cool, great. So you can try it out yourself. What an amazing machine. I bet you're very excited for the festival.
Very
when all the
excited.
consumers get here and get to see this.
Yes.
They'll be walking out the door.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Kelly, for showing us this great new machine.
Sure.
We'll leave it to Baby Lock to come up with something like this. Next, we're going to the bar. We're going to where everyone gets together at Quilt Market after hours, and we're going to find out why people come to Quilt Market. Hopefully we'll find maybe an editor of a magazine, maybe a designer, to find out what it is they're looking for when they come to market and what they hope to achieve. So join us at the bar at the Hyatt, coming up next on Quilt Out Loud. Hi, I'm Jodi Davis, co-host of QuiltOutLoud.com and president of QNNTV.com. I want to tell you about a terrific website called QuiltersClubOfAmerica.com. It's the club designed by quilters for quilters. If you love all things quilting, then this is definitely the place you'll want to check out again and again. You can join the free community. Check out the Quilt Out Loud forum. Or if you're a QNNTV.com member, you can upgrade to the club for a very low price. Just visit us at QuiltersClubOfAmerica.com or give us a call at 888-253-0203 to upgrade your QNNTV.com membership. Again, that's 888-253-0203. QuiltersClubOfAmerica.com. We look forward to seeing you there. We're here at the Hyatt Bar. This is a place where everybody comes at the end of a long day to relax.
A very long day.
And we deserve it, don't we?
Yes, we do.
You know, though, we weren't setting up booths like most people here, and that's really hard work.
Exactly.
But we did go to Sample Spree, and that's very hard work.
That's much harder work. That's why we're here.
That's right, exactly. Well, we're here early because other people haven't gotten here yet because they've been at Sample Spree. So we're getting a little head start.
Exactly.
But what goes on here usually?
Here at the Hyatt? I've spent many a year here at the Hyatt after hours. It's a great place. Everybody congregates here. You always know that when you walk into this hotel, you're going to run into someone you know from the market.
Isn't that fun?
It's kind of like Cheers of the quilt market.
Yeah, that's a very good way to put it. Very good way to put it. Well, maybe there's somebody here that we could
I noticed Heidi Kyson's over there.
Well, let's go talk with her.
Okay, cool.
Hi, Heidi. Well, hi, Jodi. How are you doing? I am just getting supper.
Hello.
Oh, really? Yes, it's been a long day.
It's like 9:30.
Yeah, exactly.
That's quilt
She's one of the ones who's been setting up a booth.
Hello.
Now you have to come here and set up a whole booth with all the the APQS long arm quilting machines.
Yep.
And so you have to set them all up.
Yep. We've set up 8 heads and 4 tables today, and we didn't get started until about 3 o'clock.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they forgot a few tools on the truck, so I had to make a trip to Home Depot and get some stuff, and then make it back, and then unloading in the rain was a little fun, but we got it done. So
it's a glamorous life.
It is. It is.
And you just got served your food, and here we're sitting down.
That's all right. I don't mind that at all. It's always good to see friends. So
that's right. That's right.
Did you get yourself a drink yet, though?
I did.
Good girl.
I did. That was the first thing. They wouldn't even take my food order until I got that. So.
You needed it.
Good deal.
So tell me, what do you do here when you're at Quilt Market?
Well, our goal is to educate at market the shop owners about why they might want a long arm quilting machine in their shop, how it could help them expand their business beyond just selling fabric and into actually making sure that they're a full service shop and able to quilt the quilts that people are making, as well as using it for their store samples.
So you're helping them rid themselves, their customers, of the UFO guilt because they haven't gotten around to quilting their
because you know if you finish a quilt, then the next thing you want to do is go buy more fabric.
Right, so it's great for everybody.
Yes.
It solves everybody's problem.
That's right. And we have a lot of designers too that are looking to finish their own quilts to be able to submit to magazines and put in their books and that kind of thing.
Speaking of magazines, Heidi also used to be the editor of a magazine.
I was, yes, for many years. I was at Better Homes and Gardens, American Patchwork and Quilting, so it was a great time. It's been really fun to be able to see the industry now from 2 different perspectives. And I look at market very differently when I'm walking around. It's very, very different.
I bet. Yeah. So what do you expect to get out of market when you come? What's a good market to you?
Well, of course, we want to be able to sell machines.
Yes.
That is our goal, and so we hope that we walk away with some sales and some new customers. Of course, educating the public. It is not a simple purchase of a long arm because of the price point, and the average customer takes about a year to make that decision. So, certainly there are people we want to sell to this time, but we also want to make sure that we're educating them so that at the next market, they're maybe ready to come back and see what the benefits are and purchase it another time.
That's right. You want them to make the right decision for them,
right.
so you're educating them to help them.
Yes.
And do you have anything that's especially new at this market? Something new and different?
No, we don't. Not at this particular time. We've got some things upcoming in the future, but at the moment, we're just holding steady with our solid product.
Great.
Good.
Very solid.
Well, when you got a good thing, hey.
That's right.
That's right. Can't mess with that.
That's right. Well, let's let you get back to
Yeah.
you.
Yes. Yeah. Then I'm putting my feet up for the night because we've got a long couple days ahead of us.
Good. Well, you deserve it.
All right. Nice to see both of
Good
you.
to see you too, hon. Okay, now that's a colorful drink.
Yes.
What is that?
It's a Mai Tai.
A Mai Tai.
Do you
Everybody,
know
this,
what a Mai Tai is?
I have no idea what's in it, but it's pretty.
it's missing the
all that
umbrella though. I don't see
We're
the
quilters.
umbrella.
We like color, right?
Yeah,
All that
exactly.
matters is it has to be pretty at the end of the day.
Exactly. Everybody, this is Kay Caps Cross, Crosscuts Patterns and Books. What are you doing here at Market?
I am promoting my book that came out about 6 months ago, Black and White
That's a
Quilts.
great book. I've seen it.
Thank you. Thank you. It's about my foundation piecing methods, which are totally no stress. And the quilts
Love
are
that
all
part.
yeah. No stress, which usually isn't associated with paper piecing.
And Kay works in a lot of black and white quilting, but she'll like throw in splashes of color, and that's what I love about
I call it my zinger.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of like my drink.
Exactly. You were just telling me a story too about how you met your friend. Here,
Yes.
Tell that story, because this is, to me, this is what gathering after hours at Quilt Market is all about.
My first time at Market here in Houston, I was staying in this hotel, and I had a friend with me that was traveling with me, and I was out at the bus stop, met Elvira at the bus
At a
stop.
bus stop.
At the bus stop. We started chatting, and then I think it was just that night, right away, my friend Linda was down here seated ready for dinner, and I wasn't down here yet. So she sat down, and Elvira came up and said, well, can I join you? Because they were both alone.
Oh,
And
isn't that
Linda
fun?
said,
Of course,
all right,
because you're a
sure.
quilter.
And then you showed up.
And then I show up, and I said, we know each other. We rode the bus together.
That's
That
a great
is
story.
too
That's
funny.
really what it's.
And
Out of all the people that come
tonight,
here.
tonight I just walked in, and here she was sitting.
Oh, that's great.
Yes,
That's very cool.
absolutely.
Now, do you have a booth?
I don't.
Okay.
I'm floating a little bit.
So you're a designer,
Designer and author.
and so you're promoting your book, but I know that you have affiliations with some companies.
Yes. My publisher right now is Krause.
Uh-huh. Yep. I've written
FW,
several
so-
books for them.
Yep, and I'm doing my second book with them. That will come out a year from now.
Yay.
Just finished the photos for that. And I also demo on the Jewel Midarm for Baby Lock.
Oh, yeah. I
It's a
haven't,
wonderful
I haven't played
machine.
with it yet.
Oh, you have to play with it. It's
Neat,
wonderful.
Neat. So as a designer, you're here doing multiple things to promote yourself, but you're also promoting products as you do it. That's
And I
really-
bring quilts to put in multiple booths for different fabric companies.
all promoting your book.
My book and their terrific fabrics.
Cool. So you've created your own little brand. You're creating your own brand. Yeah. That's really what you're doing. Neat. Cool.
Hello. How are you guys doing?
Well, we're coming around talking to people, finding out how your day was at Market and what you were up to and what do you do at Market.
Everybody, this is Jean Nolte from Fons and Porter's Love of Quilting magazine, and this is her gang, and we just want to sit down and see what's going on here. So what are you here to look for, Jean?
What am I here to look for? I'm here mostly, I have appointments all day, every day, talking with fabric companies, publishing companies, basically looking for projects for the magazine and building relationships with these companies.
Which she's very good at.
That's my main goal.
Have you seen anything new that really sparks your interest?
Well, a couple of things actually I did see tonight at Sample Spree, and I picked up some literature, and I'm going to send.
She was brave. She went
Yeah,
to
no,
Sample
I
Spree.
was only there for a little while. But picked up some stuff that I gave to Diane, who's our assistant editor, who will follow up with that tomorrow and go back. Saw a couple of techniques that I really liked in just a few minutes at Sample Spree, so I was pretty excited about that.
So how soon are we going to be seeing some of these ideas in publication?
Oh gosh, it'll be at least 6 months, maybe a year, depending. One lady I was talking to about a Christmas project, so that's Christmas 2010.
Exactly.
Maybe Halloween. So, it takes a long time from the time we look at a project until it actually gets in the magazine, at least 6 months.
And Diane, this is Diane Tomlinson. What do you do for the magazine?
I'm assistant editor to Jean. I go looking for projects for the magazine. We're looking for tips and techniques that make projects outstanding for our readers, things that expand their capabilities.
And Sharon Hart.
Hi.
It's our retail
I am the
manager.
retail manager for Fons & Porter, and I get to buy all the fabric.
She's got the best
I
job
got
in
the
the
best
world.
job. I get to buy all the fabric. We'll be looking at fabric, lots of fabric, and seeing what's new and what's out there, and patterns and all sorts of fun stuff at
You know,
market.
Sharon helps me kind of guess what fabric lines would make great projects in the magazine because she's been doing this for so long. She knows what kinds of things will be popular with our readers, and so she goes along with me a lot of the time to kind of help me decide what we think our readers would like.
And Sharon, what have you seen that's kind of new and exciting?
I have only seen putting up the booth today.
Oh,
So I have not
okay.
seen anything.
I know that feeling, yeah.
I have
yeah.
not been out there. We spent the afternoon working on the booth, so we haven't gotten that far yet. Yeah.
And this is Tiffany, who is our customer service manager. Very important part of the Fons & Porter team. Customer service. One of the things that's really great about Fons & Porter is the customer service. Would everybody agree? I mean, it is so
Absolutely.
important. And our customer
Yep, it is.
service, everybody knows, at least knows quilting, if not is a quilter.
Yeah.
And really has a customer focus and doesn't just say that.
Right.
You
You're
do.
very
You will go the
customer
extra
oriented.
mile. I love to be able to say, call 1-800, whatever the number is, because I know that you're going to land with these people and be
Jodi,
treated real
she
well.
also does Quilters Club of America customer
That's right.
service.
That's right.
too.
Yep.
So, and QNN TV.
That's right.
So if you call that 800 number in the back of the magazine, you very well could get Tiffany.
Yep. That's right. Yep.
And if you don't, it'll be one of her staff.
Yep, and we talk to people from all over the world about their subscriptions. You know, I come to Quilt Market with my pink boots, as you can see. I come to Quilt Market to help everybody about their subscriptions. Quilt shops set up subscriptions, different things like that. So I'm the booth lady here. Yep. So
Great.
So well, thanks for stopping by, guys.
I can't believe we got you on camera.
Here we go.
Oh, yes.
Well, here it is, the end of setup day. Everything's almost done. All the booths are all almost perfect, like yours.
Yeah, mine had to be done early though, so that we could sit here and do this segment of the show.
That's right. This is all Patrick's work behind us. You do fabric and books and wonderful designs, and you obviously love color.
I love color, and I'm happy that we're here to have all this color behind us for this segment. And it looks like you brought a pet, maybe a gerbil or something here.
I don't go anywhere without my gerbil.
The bottom of the box isn't wet, so we don't have to worry about it.
Actually,
what do you have there?
People who know me well wouldn't be surprised if there was a kitten in here, but
Yeah.
no, there isn't.
Yeah. Or
Well, this
a
is
ducky.
what we did just now. Is with the booths almost set up, we went to see what was new from publishers, to see what new books were out there. And I happened to be going by Adita Sitar's booth, and she showed me this book. I didn't know she had a new one out, but this is a really cool idea. What this is all quilts using half-square triangles. And it's like for shops, in order to have sort of an ongoing kind of a quilt
class program
yes.
or something like that.
But what they did was, with all, she designs for Moda, and so it's all the different Moda designers have contributed to this, and they've all made their own designs that all use the half-square triangles.
That's great.
So this book has a whole bunch of, I can't remember if it's 8 patterns or what in it, but what it proves is that you can take all these different fabrics and make things that look wonderful, even though you wouldn't think that they go together.
Exactly.
And that's what this is. So what you do is, when you go to the shop for the first week, now these are batiks, so you choose batiks and you start with that designer's fabric or line of fabric, and you make all of these. And then you take this and you go back to the shop, I guess it's the next week, a weekly thing or whatever, and then you swap with the other people.
Oh, okay.
And then so you'll get other people's squares that they've made with the half-square triangles, and you end
UFOs.
up with something, but you end up with something really scrappy that looks great. Isn't that neat?
Yeah, I love the colors in that one.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. And I love the idea of going off with this cute little thing.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That your gerbil is not wetted.
Exactly. Well, the one that jumped out at me, and I do have to say here, I actually stole this from the AQS booth because I couldn't find anyone there, but this book, I will bring it back. Okay. But this book, what I love about this, it's called Teens and Tweens, Quilting Fun with Family and Friends. And the thing that I love about this is because it's so important right now to get young people involved in the the craft of quilting and sort of bring them up in the ranks. We're getting older, all of us, and we need to get some.
Speak for yourself.
Not Jodi. Jodi's not getting any older ever, but you know, so we need to bring people up in the ranks, and I think this is a great book to do it. This is Anita Shackelford and Jennifer Perot, I believe.
Anita Shackelford.
Yes.
That is really different for her. That's cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Yay.
And again, color and just it looks like great projects for kids and family.
Yeah, great. Well, mine I found right next door in the booth next to yours. Susan Cleveland. She does some of the coolest things. Her techniques, you know how some people can just sort of drill right down to the basis of something and make it really easy? She did that with her piping hot bindings.
Exactly.
And now she's doing this for mitering. So this whole book is about mitering. There are all sorts of cool quilts in here, all using all sorts of miters.
I've already told Susan I'm going to be getting that book. I need that book. This one, the reason that I picked this one up is because no one would expect me to pick this one up. Everybody knows me for, you know, bright colors and bold design and everything. This is Jan Paddock's, and it's called Flags of the American Revolution. And it's a more primitive approach to quilting, of course, with the more earthy colors, but I do love this kind of thing. When at the end of the day, when I'm colored out with some of the things that I do, this is what I want to look for, and this one just caught my eye.
Yeah, I love the Americana.
Yeah, oh yeah,
and,
definitely.
And it's naive. What do you call the
folk art, naive? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, which is
exactly.
really fun.
And Jan's known for that. So.
Yes, yep, it's her look. This one from that patchwork place in Jane Townswick, Artful Applique, is
great
beautiful.
Colors, yeah.
Some of the projects in here, well, it's all blocks, and she shows exactly how to layer things, what order to put everything in, really good photographs, and the blocks are absolutely stunning. All florals that are just gorgeous.
That's great.
So, if you like applique, get this one.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. This, again, out of the box, Mary Lou Weidman. This is also from that pouch. Yeah, crazy, yeah. From that patchwork place. Again, it was the color mostly that jumped out at me, but they also had some pins over at that patchwork place booth with some of her designs on them that I just thought were really whimsical and fun. And this, you know, again, just the look of the book and the colors jumped out at me.
I just love how happy Mary Lou's work is. Mary Lou, if you've taken a class with her, you know what she's like, and her work is Mary Lou.
Exactly, and you can see, I mean, this is not just a book of, you know, boring instructions. Yeah, exactly. This is exactly whimsical and fun, and yeah.
Yeah, but the fabrics, the designs, everything.
Definitely.
Yeah, we love Mary Lou. Now this one's a friend of mine, Beth Ferrier, and this one's with CNT Publishing, and she self-published hand applique by machine before that was very popular, but CNT's very excited about this for more than one reason. From what Beth has told me, she does her hand applique by machine technique in here, but she has some new things that she's cooked up that are also in here. And I haven't had a chance to look at it, so I can't even tell you what it is, but she said they're pretty cool. But what's even cooler is she's come out with this really nifty, I mean, I found out on Facebook about this.
I have been tell me about, I'm serious, tell me about this.
Everybody's talking about it. It's like freezer paper, but it's fusible, and then it washes away.
Are you serious? I'm not kidding. I wanted to invent something like this for this is exactly what I do. I'm going to be getting some of that.
She beat you to it. So CNT, check that out. You can buy this also through CNT.
Excellent.
Yes.
This, you know, I was telling Jodi about this book before we even decided to do this segment. I did find it, and all I know about it is this isn't even my kind of quilting necessarily, but the cover just jumped off the shelf at me. Winter Trees is what it's called. It's Jane Kennedy. You know, I'm a visual person, and this just jumped off the shelf at me. That's why I picked it up.
Cool. Do your next one, because I have to do the last one.
Oh, okay. Well, I have another one from that patchwork place, and this is Stash Magic, and there's nothing more important in the economy today than knowing what to do with that stash that you've got piled up so that you don't have to go out and buy more fabric and more tools and things like that.
No, there's nothing wrong with that either.
Well, yeah, exactly. And I should know, I'm a fabric designer, but you know, what do we do with that pile of fabric that's sitting at home? And we can't always come up with the ideas. Well, they've come up with the ideas. This is Janette Huff, is that? I don't know her, but I think it's Janette Huff. Yep. And it's 13 quilts that make the most of your fabric collection. So I think this would be a great book, economically speaking also.
Right, plus the satisfaction of knocking out a whole bunch of quilts. Nothing like making
and using up some of what you've spent your money on.
Reduce the guilt.
Yeah, exactly. That's always good.
Well, my last book, Patrick, have you ever seen, whoops, where is it? Have you ever seen anything that looks like this?
Yeah, I've seen it, but I haven't seen that. Where did you get it?
I moseyed on over to the C&T booth, and they said, hey, we got Patrick's book, and he hasn't seen it, so why don't you present it to him? No. It's a good feeling.
This is a good feeling. Yeah, I'm very proud of this book, actually. I can't believe you found it. That's great.
Well, while he's looking at that, tomorrow everything will be set up and the show will be open, and Patrick and I are going to go around and find what catches our eye for the cool, neat stuff. It could be tools.
I think I already found something.
Oh, look who's here.
We have a visitor.
This is a find. Eleanor Burns. Hello.
So you have to come to my booth tomorrow.
Oh?
Because I have magic.
Well, you always have magic.
Yeah.
And it's all from a book called Day and Night, and it's made from strips.
Ah, yes, but of course, that's Eleanor.
Of course.
Wonderful. Well, we'll go by the booth tomorrow, and then what we're going to do is we're going to be reporting from the Fonz and Porter booth in our next segment, and we'll show you all our finds, including Day and Night.
All right.
We'll see you then.
Looking forward to it.
Finish size quilting is a new no math, no guesswork method for making traditional blocks using finish size measurements. The first member of the family is the guidelines ruler. Set the movable fabric guide to the width you wish to cut, slide the ruler over your fabric, and it butts up and aligns the ruler to the raw edge for a perfect cut every time. Make any block you wish, knowing only the finished size using the guidelines seam allowance additions. Snap on S, H, or Q seam allowance additions to your guidelines ruler and never worry about remembering fractions again. Visit guidelinesforquilting.com for complete tutorials and downloadable instructions, and visit quiltoutloud.com for more videos. Well, I don't know about you, but I've had quite a market.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's a great market.
Yeah, it's always fun. And you know, there was so many new things I see.
Always. It's
really
unbelievable.
I don't know, this market though, there seems to be more.
I think there is at this market. It's a lot of new ideas, a lot of color and vibrant, new ideas, techniques, everything. This market's full.
Yeah, a lot of times I feel like I'm at market, I see a lot of the same thing, but
Yeah.
I'm thinking, I've seen some ingenious products
so
like
too.
those boxes and all the cool colors, organizing boxes.
Yeah, exactly.
Those are really neat.
Exactly, organizers.
And then you showed me that book with the
with the Japanese designs and the pear, the stuffed pear. I just thought that was really cool. I think it's just a very simple, nice design with great colors.
And the Japanese aesthetic, we're so into America. It always looks the same. It's so wonderful to see this different design
Other cultures
aesthetic.
coming into quilting, definitely.
Yeah. And then what was the other thing that we went to see? Oh, Amy Barrickman.
Oh yeah, at Indigo Junction. Good old Amy.
I love her stuff.
I do too. I started at Indigo Junction as a pattern designer, so it was great for me to see what she's doing now too.
Did you really?
Wonderful stuff. Yeah.
So tell me about that.
Well, I was designing patterns for Indigo Junction before I ever even came to market the first time.
So were you like designing, and that's how you got your start, was talking to Amy? And...
I actually designed, believe it or not, a pattern for a doll that Amy turned into a pattern with Indigo Junction, brought it here to market, it sold really well, and then she's like, well, we should do some more. So we did, and then all of a sudden I'm designing fabrics and writing books, and it's wonderful. That's what Market's
success,
all about.
Real easy, yeah, right.
Well, but that's what Market's all about.
It's
finding new designers, new ideas, and all of that, and it's all here.
And schmoozing.
Yeah, schmoozing's good. Yeah.
Yep. Well, I went around and I found some things also.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what this is, this fabric wrapped around a piece of cardboard.
Oh, come on!
Well,
Speaking of someone who has a good idea, this isn't just any cardboard. This is that same stuff that they make out of the boxes for the mail.
Oh, shipping box, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's acid-free cardboard, so it's great for fabric.
Cool.
And what she did was she took a length of fabric and folded it in half like it's normally folded, and then folded it in half again like you would for cutting it. And then she rolled it up on this just plain old piece of cardboard, as you say.
Oh, no, see that?
Yeah,
That's
it has these tabs that hold it in.
I could use these at my house. I have fabric everywhere.
Oh gosh,
Yeah.
I'll get her to send you a case.
Okay, cool.
So then you roll it up, and you can line these all up like on a bookshelf or in a big plastic
Like a
box.
library of fabric.
Yeah, and then see how when you undo it, you can just undo as much as you want and then cut off as much as you want, and it's still the rest of it's rolled up.
It'd be great for cutting strips for binding, so that you're not cutting across the whole width, or you are cutting across the whole width, but it's folded into quarters.
Yeah,
so that's
isn't
great.
that cool?
Yeah, very cool.
I thought so. The information about all these things we show you, by the way, are going to be in the episode notes down there. Click on episode notes and on the right episode for this episode, and you'll find all that stuff.
Very cool. And what's this pretty thing?
Well, that's.
I mean, I see it's a clipboard, but what?
You're brilliant. Well, I gave you the flowery fabric on purpose. But what this is I thought this was a really cool idea.
It is a cool idea. It's very cool.
The gist of the idea is that you go to your quilt shop, and this is a project that you can make quickly.
Sure.
And of course you can do it at home too. So here you're making a block that goes in the clipboard, but you get to do something that maybe you might want to experiment with, something that is a technique that you haven't done before.
Or you cut apart a bunch of old UFOs and put them into your clipboards.
I wonder if they thought of that.
Yeah, seriously.
That's
we
a
need
great
to go
idea.
talk to them.
Yeah, I know, that's a great idea. So I thought that was really neat.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Could you hold that again?
Sure.
Then I went to see my friends at Electric Quilt. Do you use Electric Quilt?
I do somewhat. I'm learning it now, and I love it, yeah.
Well, you do applique, so I can see how
exactly.
it wouldn't. Even though they do applique in there, you probably already design like an Illustrator or something?
Yeah, I do. Well, I draw by hand and then design in Illustrator, but I also do some piecing behind that, so this is becoming very useful for me.
Oh, right.
Definitely.
Right, yeah. The nice thing about EQ, and I know I say this all the time, is it thinks quilting. So and then it'll create templates and everything for you, which is really neat.
That's what I need.
But speaking of quilting, now they have this software, Quilting Designs, which is just that. It's designs for actually quilting. And they have a whole library, and they are very EQ-like with all these different kinds of designs. The cool thing is that they also have these all-over designs, and what you can do is map them out on your quilts in EQ and then print them all out on whatever paper you want, so you can put them onto the quilt top and stitch through them or use them as stencils. Yeah, isn't that neat?
That's really great.
Leave it to EQ.
They always have good designs too. Always.
Yeah. Well, while you were at your booth working,
yeah, some of us had to work at this market.
I went around and caught a couple cool things.
That's what I heard.
Yeah. Have you heard about the Quilts of Valor project?
A little bit.
Well, you'll see on this video.
Okay.
Gamble had a machine painted just for the Quilts of Valor project.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Take a peek.
Oh, okay.
This is our patriotic machine. We helped the Quilts of Valor with a sponsorship, so they were going to have a booth at the Houston show, and we thought, what better way to christen their booth than to paint a new machine in their honor.
And you painted it.
Yeah. So many times with their servicemen, we never say thank you enough.
Yes.
The people that serve our country mean so much to our country. We don't say thank you enough. And then the Quilts of Valor ladies that take it one step further and just welcome the soldiers back with quilts.
So is it every soldier that comes back or wounded?
Primarily it started out as wounded soldiers, but I think they're taking it one step further, and
That's a lot of
Actually,
quilts.
that's a lot of quilts, and it's all over the country. And I'm humbled to be a part of it because really they're the heroes, the
right.
people making the quilts and the servicemen and women that serve our country so well.
But what better way to say thanks than with a quilt? Because it's wrapping a person in love. That's
Exactly.
what it is.
And they get so many letters that just tear your heart apart whenever they receive their quilts and they write the notes back to the Quilts of Valor, and you can tell they really appreciate it.
Yep,
So,
they understand what a quilt means.
and we're so happy to be a part of it.
Yep. Well, this is a true testament to the goodness of people, and that's the most empowering thing and the joy, and so thank you for doing this.
Oh, you're welcome.
That's amazing.
Isn't
That's
it?
very cool.
Isn't
and
it?
it's such a great cause, too.
Oh, absolutely
Yeah.
a great cause. It's
Wow.
wonderful to see companies embrace things like that.
Exactly.
Yep,
And quilters taking it up.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And then I went to the Aurifil booth and see what they have new, because they have these cool little collections, designers who have collections of thread, which are like starter packs,
I'm all
which is
about
really
that.
cool.
I love thread.
Yeah. So Alex introduced us to the thread
wow.
collections. Look at this, a collection of thread.
Yes, it's a collection that we developed with Edita Sitar. She's a moda fabric designer,
Yes.
and she selected her favorite colors in 50 weight for piecing. This selection is introduced in a new line that we call Kit Art, where we are putting some famous designer. We have Pat Sloan.
We know Pat.
Here we have two different selections developed by Pat. One for quilting and one for applique.
Right.
On the other side, for complete the kit art selection, there is the wool selection made by Marianne from the Cinnamon Patch. It's a wool selection of colors for realize country quilt folk art using a felt. Last but not least, there are the selection that we made with Mark Lipinski. He made 3 different selections, the basic one with 50 weight for piecing, the intermediate one with 20 weight for quilting, and then the ultra collection that is made for both. It's a selection of 48 colors, one side for piecing and the other one for quilting.
Well, I want them all. I can't get enough Aurifil thread.
Thank you, Jodi, for your visit.
Thank you.
Look at all the colors. That's great.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't
I'm
it
all
pretty?
about thread, so that's very cool for me.
Well, you do with applique.
I will be using that.
Yeah, because
definitely.
applique, the thread shows on the fabric. Yep.
Exactly.
And then the third one I went to was one of my friends, John Brady from Guidelines for Quilting, and he's an inventor. And you know, we see so much of this around here, like this board. I mean, who would have thunk of that? But it's such a good idea.
Right, simple.
And he does really neat rulers. It's everything from measuring. And he's come up with some easy ways to, just things like ideas of how he has made his rulers. This is his newest one. You can take any 2 rulers, like a 6x12, make the 6x12 a 12x12 or a 6x24.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Oh, here's John from Guidelines for Quilting.
Jodi!
How are you doing?
Good to see you.
John is an inventor, and he always has something really neat at market. So what have you got for us this time?
Well, you know, Jodi, we've had our connector for our quilt rulers all this time. Well, guess what we have now?
That's an OmniGrid and an OFA.
It's an OFA grid, or an Omnifa.
You invented something new. And you're connecting it? This is yours?
Connecting them together,
Woohoo!
absolutely. And it's so cool because the way it works, there's these little black alignment tabs
Yeah.
that actually drop down below. That's the key. You got to get them lined up exactly right. Well, look at this. It actually comes up and just hits right against the edge of the ruler.
Okay, yeah.
Line it up to the lip edge there and attach it there. And then
So
you
those
take
are suction cups?
Yeah. Take the second ruler and it lines up to the first ruler and to the lip edge there. And ta-da, 6x24.
And you have a handle.
And a handle built in. And it's just as smooth as can be.
So now when you go to class, you can take 2 rulers and put them together.
Yeah, 2 6x12 small bag in the case with your sewing
Yep.
machine. Take the same 2 rulers if you want to do a corner square.
Oh my gosh.
Yep, put them together that way.
And then you've got this.
Yep,
Neat.
you cut your corner square.
Or you could do a 12x12.
Yep, take the 2 rulers, put them together side by side. Or how about this? Let's take a 6x12,
All right.
connect it to a 6x24. Doing it on the other side there, but now I've got a 3-foot quilt ruler.
Woohoo!
So any way you want to put them together. Longer, wider, corner square, anything.
Well, thanks, John. You're always coming up with something new. I always hotsy-foot it over here first because I want to see what you got.
No, just wait till next time. Something up the sleeve already here.
Great, always.
You bet.
Oh, wow, that's great.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
And see, then it has a handle,
See,
too.
I'm all about tools, too. Anything that makes it easier for me, I love it.
So, you've been an exhibitor. Tell me, give me the assessment. How is market?
Well, market's always great. I mean, just to come just for the fun of it is enough, but being an exhibitor and having my pattern lines and my books and fabrics to sell and to be able to meet my customers that I don't get to see all the time, I mean, that's the big thing for me, is to come to Houston once a year in the fall and see all these friends and relationships that I've developed because of what I do. And
right.
So, and being in touch with my customers lets me know what I need to be going back home to the drawing board to do.
If they want reindeers, you're going to produce
I'll do
reindeers.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. I might do them a little different than they wanted them, a little kooky, but...
Well, they're Patrick-y.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
And you were selling patterns, and some of the distributors had your fabric.
Honestly, yeah, the distributors all have my fabrics and patterns and books, but it's nice for me to be able to come and have a booth of my own, and if customers, shop owners want to come to me to buy, they can do that as well, and that again just strengthens my relationship with them, and I get to know a little bit more about them, so that's great.
Well, Patrick, I was at your booth a few times, and women came up and hugged you, wanted autographs, and it's like
that's
a party.
That's the best part of market.
It is. It's
it
great.
is definitely. I mean, walking through the aisles, just seeing people that we haven't seen for a year sometimes, or more, because not everybody goes to every market, and so we get to come here and get back together with our friends and strengthen those relationships.
That's right. Yep. Well, I'm tired. What about you?
I'm tired, but I hear there's a couple of parties.
Let's go.
Parties are another big part of market, so we'll go hit the parties.
Okay, let's go.
All right, let's go.
I hope you've had as much fun getting a behind-the-scenes view of Quilt Market as we have bringing you, and especially introducing you to my friend Patrick Lose.
Thanks, Jodi.
We've had a good time.
We have had a really good time.
Yep.
I think it's about time to call it a night, though, don't you?
I think so, but
okay,
wait 1 second. I have something for you.
Another beer?
Every friend of mine needs one of these, and this is for Lily.
Oh my God!
Patriotic ducks for Lily.
That's great. So Lily
Lily
will
is
love
his
this.
granddaughter. Thank you so much. It was really fun.
Love you. Thank you.
Thank you for watching Quilt Out Loud. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys.